Hello there and welcome to my first map guide ever for War Thunder maps. If you want to go straight to the guide, I will leave a timestamp down in the description. But now I just want to talk about the concept, what I'm going to make. So basically I'm going to talk about individual maps from the ground forces perspective. And for each map I will do a separate guide with what to do if you spawn on the left side or on the north side, and what to do if you spawn on the right side or on the south side, depending on the map. Today's map, the first guide I'm going to make is for Ash River, which you can see right now here. And I will look at it from the left spawn side. So now we'll go to the game. Switching to the game, it's not working, it should be working. And I will first of all spawn north in the domination configuration. And first thing I'm going to do is turn around. This map has for each side 3 possible spawns, but only 1 to 2 will show in each map. First one is the north one, which is the one where I spawn right now, and its biggest advantage is that you are covered in the spawn area for both teams. It's the same on the other side. And if we go back to the map, you can see there is this mountain here for the left team, and this mountain here, and rocks here for the right side. What to do from here? Well, there are many ways. We will be looking at the left side. In domination you can go both C and B pretty easily, whereas in conquest, when there is just A, you don't go north for obvious reasons. I will have different colored lines in the maps. Yellow line is advised for snipers. Green line is if you want to capture, and blue line is if you are in a really quick tank and you are with a teammate, because these are dangerous paths. The red line you see here is how to absolutely not approach a point. I will show it in game right now. I see many players go along this path trying to get to B, but there is a huge problem. The entire bridge is totally exposed to enemies as soon as they get out of the spawn, and that's where I'm going to go right now to show in War Thunder, assuming it is recording in game. Else I would be wasting my time, which I don't like to do. I'm in a custom match, of course, not doing that. Yeah, okay, it's recording in game. So what most players do is, I will have to not kill AI, else I'm going to win the match. They go here. This is one of the yellow path. I suggest this for snipers, and well, that's the reason. I mean, from here you cover half C plus any enemy that tries to get to your spawn. The problem is when you're going here in order to get to B, because in all this zone you're exposed to any enemy which is already on B, you are exposed to enemies up on the mountain, and you're exposed to enemies from the spawn. And this is not safe. This is guaranteed explosion. You will go boom if you go this path. Now the alternative I've shown with the green line is a more efficient way. I'm going to leave my tank go straight to there while I switch here. Now we'll be following this path. Well lined is while I suggest this, although there is a wall here, well, you can bring down the wall with machine guns, and that's the entire point, because it makes the way a lot faster rather than going down there. Let me switch again. Okay, so when you are here from the spawn, just spawned, now all on speed, and the wall I'm talking about is this one. If you shoot with machine gun on it, it's going to look like it's still there, but boom, it disappears. And even if it doesn't disappear, it does not collide with you, which makes this way almost a straight line, and you only have to worry about enemies down the bridge. Only enemies down there can hit you, and the rest of your journey to B is totally covered. That guy scared me. The only issue you have is once you're up here, you're exposed to one of the enemy sniper positions. But that's unavoidable. You cannot have a totally safe way to reach your point anyway. So that's the path I suggest, bringing down the wall with a machine gun. Now let's go back to the map, and we just followed the green line to B. The green line to C is pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I have to talk about it. You just go straight down the hill, and you use this rock as cover in order to get there. Why I say to not go this path? Well, we were exposed from enemies under the bridge on this area before. Yeah, I think it was this area. But the problem is, if you go down here, you will be exposed to any enemy that is camping here. They will likely be pointing at C, but nothing. I mean, you can't be sure that they won't be looking here, and that's a relatively long exposed way, pretty much like on the bridge. Now, from here, last path is the blue line, but since it's the same in Conquest mode, I will show it later. It's exactly the same. Last thing I want to say about this zone is domination. Two things. One, if you get C, there is not much cover to enemy zone, so it's safer to capture C and hold it. If you want to push further, B is a better starting location. I will talk about that bottom section later. There is something shooting at me. 10, okay. Once you secured B, if you get shot from A, it's because you are quite exposed on the north side of B. But as long as you stay around here, they won't be able to shoot at you. And actually, you can use this as a position to counter snipe enemy snipers that are on A. Well, there is the AI in the counter snipe position, but you still get the idea. Of course, our troops are capturing A. AI shouldn't capture. And if the team secured C and you're holding B quite well, you can have enough backup to be able to clear this zone. And once it's cleared, you can take the risk of actually pushing forward, assuming that your team holds C and B, so your eventual death won't be that much risky. And in the moment you reach this place, the match is already over. There is no way you're going to lose. Except enemies having C and A, but in that case you should just go C. And that's it from the domination perspective. I didn't talk much about the south because there is a lot less variation. From the south, first of all, the south spawn is in a very bad position for this team, because as soon as you get out, you can be fired at from almost the entire south map, and that's not good at all. More than lines, I've colored areas here because, well, that's how it works. If you're a medium or heavy tank that goes to capture, you stay in this area. If you are a sniper, you go on the upper mountain, and if you are very light, you can go on the map border, the very limit of the map, maybe a bit outside, and kill the snipers. You won't have enough of them to kill the heavy tanks unless they expose their sight. And of course I didn't highlight it, but from A you can snipe people on the north half of B. People on the south half of B are actually quite safe. Now let's go talk about the middle spawn with north capture point and middle spawn with south capture point. These are two different conquest setups. Everything I said for the domination applies to the conquest setup with middle capture and north spawn. Now let's go here. When the capture point is north, you can pretty much say that this path will be really crowded, so expect teammates to bump on you, or expect them to push you around, expect anything bad you can imagine to happen in this way, because 90% of your team is going down this way. One thing you can do to avoid your teammates is take the longer way and go around here, so by the time you arrive here, most teammates will have freed this area. From here, path to A, pretty direct. You're almost always covered, except for this part, but everything else is covered, so you don't have to worry much. One thing you can do is use the domination B equivalent as a sniping spot. As you can see from the yellow triangles, there is a lot you can cover. People from right side like to stay here to snipe A, but you can counter snipe them being on the B hill. And same if they go south and try to snipe from here, you can counter snipe them. If they get here, they can actually stop your troops that are going A, your tanks that are going A. So having a counter sniper here is quite useful for the team overall. Let me just show a moment. Switch view. Should I? Yeah. Sorry for the dead time. Okay, there I am. Maybe I should move this map up so you see both and make it slightly bigger and get it to the next one. Okay, so now let's say we started from, should I respawn? I need to get that manual. Here, of course, when going this way, you will do the same you did with the other bricks wall. Just machine gun it, and even if it doesn't go down, it will slow you. Well, it did go down, so it will slow you down a lot less. Almost there. Okay. Now let's say you managed to survive your teammates pushing you around. You came up here. First thing, your teammates that are going C will just go straight here. C, well, the pointed will be A in Conquest, but now C. So one thing you can do, even if it slows you down, slightly climb this mountain so you leave the path open for them and they don't have to slow down that much. Right now I'm going to follow the blue path. I've set two variations. One consists in going down here and passing left of this hill here. It is more risky, but it is quicker. So if you have a quick tank, you can go this way. But if you're medium or slow, they will kill you from under the bridge. So the solution to that is going from there, going the low way, behind these rocks, and behind this hill. From here, there are three things you can do. First is well, stay here. If you know that they are going on the B hill to snipe, you can stay here and kill them on the bridge. Second thing, if you're with a teammate, you can afford to push further and go B if there are snipers. If there aren't, just sit here, especially in realistic or simulator, because enemies here are going to just look on the left side of the map, they're going to look down the road, they're not going to notice that you are here. I've got many kills on tanks that were just driving forward, not looking here, even in arcade where I should be spotted, but hey, they didn't see me. The other thing you can do from here, if you have a decent engine, or if you're playing arcade, that implies you have a better engine, is go up here. And as you can see from the image, let's go here. Once you are up here, you can cover the north spawn in domination. You can cover the middle spawn, the one that in Conquest is the middle spawn. You can cover it as well. And if you go upper, you can cover a lot of this area or jump in the enemy sniping spot. This position here is where they usually go to snipe down or even around A. You can get behind them from here. I will show this right now. I will show all the directions. Let me swap map. It's not working. Okay, it worked now. So from here, the problem sniping north spawn in domination is that you are exposed. You're a lot exposed. So if you want to do that, you should have a good depression and actually don't get totally on top, but stay a little behind. So in case you need, you can just back up down. And that's also why you need a teammate. You want a teammate to be down there to cover you from any enemy that goes this way. If you do this alone, pretty sure someone is going to shoot you back or side. On the other hand, if you are in Conquest and there is no north spawn, or in late domination and there are just anti-air in the north, from here you can get anything. Anyone who just spawned, anyone who is coming down from south. Down from south sounds weird. Well, anyone coming north from south, you can get them all. And the last thing I want to show from here is, of course, how you get behind the sniper spot. Yes, this is arcade mode and I have a better engine, but I can guarantee you that you can do this in realistic as well. It's just going to take longer. From here you can see a lot of enemy area. Just look at my line of sight from here. You can get, how decent is this? 300? Pretty sure that's these rocks here, 300 meters. So yeah, I cover all this area by just being here. And second thing, well, any sniper that was here, this is the sniping position for the right spawn team. You can just come here and kill them, or you can troll and push them down the mountain. And from here, you can shoot behind or on the side of any enemy that is going A. Again, you should be here with a teammate that is going to protect you from enemies coming from enemy spawn. But if you're here with a teammate, you're helping your team a lot for victory. Final thing, when there is south capture and middle spawn. In this case, going here where I am at right now with the tank, well, going to this spot is even better because 90% of players are going to be south, they're going to ignore north. So one thing you should do is, once you get around here, kill the 2 or 3 enemy flankers that are on this area, and if you manage to do it, the whole north of the map is under your control, and from here you're locking the only path enemies can take to get north. Your team can focus on the point, and that's again a sure victory, unless your teammates are really bad, but I mean, you can't do much about that. Finally, I'm going to show 2 things. First off, well, I'm not going to show the south side because, as I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's simple. It's plain. There are 3 mountain levels basically, and you just go higher if you snipe and stay lower if you tank. Of course, your tank. Well, whatever. As a bonus, though, I want to show 1 spot. I think. I'm not sure. Potentially 2 spots. Let's say like that. From the left side, 1 was reachable in past versions, but I think that with recent updates you can't get there anymore. I'm not sure at all. I will have to check. Well, first of all, where am I going? Some players will already know you can do that, but for the ones who don't, I'm going to show it. Yeah, you see why I hate south spawn, so much exposed. You can get there, up to the bunker. Depending on the tank, you might need someone to push you. They changed the map a bit. You have to do it. Oh, okay. Last time I did it was a century ago. I think the map was updated like 100 times, and they made it harder to do. So here, if you stay on your side of the cliff, you're going to still be covered. I suggest you don't poke out in arcade from here, because, well, everyone can shot you. But if you are in realistic or simulator and they're not looking there, you can take a couple shots. And as you can see, you have a decent sight. You can even see the enemy sniper area to see from here. But you mainly have a sight over B and any enemy trying to get to B. Let's keep on the safe side of it, which is just stay on the right of the cliff. You're going to be a bit exposed from here, but once you get here, you have a concrete bunker covering you. Now, when to come here and when not to come here. At the beginning of the map, of course you should come here. I mean, if you can and if you like it. But then you should take account one thing. You use the bunker as coverage, but if enemies are on A and you want to shoot A, when you have to back up for repairs, problem is you are, well, not totally, but at risk from B. And if you're trying to snipe B, you back up, you're at risk from enemy snipers south of A. Now, what's the point I'm trying to make here? If your team is holding securely, and by securely I mean you have at least 3 friendly tanks on the point of B or C, and the enemy is attacking the other one, then this is a very good spot. As right now I have, let's pretend these are good players around B. Let's pretend I trust them to hold B. Then you can use this spot to kill enemy snipers up the hill. As you can see, this 500 meters is already outside of the map. The enemies inside of the map can be here, 400 meters. Yeah, I say the distances because I'm using arcade as well to show distances on the scope, because this is very useful in realistic. You go here, you know that all the snipers are between 500 and 400 meters. As I was saying, if your teammates are holding B, you can use this spot to kill enemy snipers and to help free A. On the other hand, if your team is securely holding A, I'm going to fall. Okay, I'm not. If your team is securely holding A, you can use this spot to defend, to cover B, to kill enemy snipers, to kill enemies approaching B, to kill enemies coming up from C that are trying to go to your spawn, 500 meters. That's that brownish line is the road that from C gets to your spawn, so you want to cover that. And this is a good spot for both. Problem of this spot is it lacks proper cover. You don't have small rocks and stuff like that. So I suggest you gather here mostly in realistic. It's very dangerous to gather in arcade. Now about the okay. I'm going to now try to go to the other spot, but I don't have many hopes of it still being reachable. Yeah, they blocked it partially with the tank traps, but I'm going to bypass it. I don't like to be blocked out of the spots I love, so I will just not care about the blocking and go around it. Oh, okay, the path I used is still... Okay, this is just stupid, don't come here. You're really badly exposed. Though from bottom it is blocked. Oh my. They anticipated me. Oh, they blocked it. Oh, they really don't want to get up there. Tank traps everywhere. And that as well. Okay, so the educational part of the video ends here. Now there is the main part of the video, which is me trying to find a way to reach that spot. Because in other maps I'm going to showcase, there will be some, like 2 or 3 spots that developers clearly don't want you to go at, but with the help of a teammate you can. For example, this would be a lot easier if I had a teammate pushing me. I'm going to... yes, okay. Tank climbing is a new sport. Okay, this is of course something you cannot do in realistic, and this is a way too much exposed place to do it in arcade, so that's not going to be useful at all. Return to the battlefield. Oh, it's open there. If I... well, after I go there and show the place, I will think for a future video maybe about a possible way to get there safely. Is this a good spot? No, it's not. Well, it is if you have to snipe your own team snipers. Let's build up speed. Okay. And there. Let's come back down. Come down. Come back. Come back. Stop the timer. Okay. Is this a good spot? Ooh. Actually, tank traps stop tank ammo. It isn't really good, but it's not even bad. This is the... okay, this cliff here is the path I used and they blocked it. And the return to battlefield is likely going to kill me now, but I want to try anyway. I might, maybe, oh yes. And there we are. You can enjoy a beautiful sight. You can show the water. You can look at this mountain, it's beautiful from here. Okay, well, I need a better graphics card if I want to talk about beautiful. Point is, if you're not in arcade, if you're not in arcade in realistic or simulator, look at this spot. Who is ever going to watch up the bridge? Well, since I have literally 1 subscriber, I think even after this match, no one is going to look up this bridge. I can snipe A from here. It's 1 kilometer, almost 1 kilometer. I can snipe the bridge, both the bridges of B from here. As you can see, this guy here is not on the bridge that comes from our spawn. He was on the bridge from their spawn. You can cover both bridges. You can cover enemies going to the bridge to B, and depending on your gun depression you can partially cover C. Now a couple things you can do from here if you have no depression. You see that there is a little, it's risky, I'm going to fall. Yeah, should not have done that. Maybe I can. Wow, they put tank traps even here. That's so sad. As I said, the educational part of the video stopped before I tried to get there. This used to be open. It literally was open here. And now they have put tank traps everywhere. They didn't miss a single spot. Yeah. Okay, this is all closed and there is no way you can do it in a real match. Because climbing this hill takes long, leaves you exposed. You need, if you really want to do this, I would say you need 3 teammates. One with a Crusader that has 30 smoke grenades, and 2 that are going to climb. The Crusader is going to smoke grenade this side of the hill, and the 2 climbing tanks, which have to be tanks with a decent engine, especially in realistic. As you see, well, this is not the best engine in game, but still, the Panther is, in my experience, quite decent at climbing. Yeah, if I had a teammate that pushed me, I would already be there. It takes a lot longer when you're alone. And you try to do this kind of, well, stuff. Problem is, tank traps are really bad. Rocks are slightly bad, but tank traps are really bad. I'm going to, yeah, I might be able to, not sure. Yes, okay. With a teammate this would have taken half the time. This is easily half the time, even less. Now, let's pretend we are in an actual match and we survived all this. We have a teammate with a Crusader that is not going to help the rest of the team, assuming you are at higher battle rating. But now you have 2 players that are here. They have to come back here to reset the timer, because if you don't reset the timer, you're going to go boom. And you don't want to go boom, right? Of course you don't. Pretty sure after this video Gaijin is going to block this even more. Okay, and what I wanted to show before falling, if they didn't change it, is they did change it. They changed it a lot. Okay, in the past there was concrete going down here and you could actually use it to gain some depression. Well, okay, the video ends here. But yeah, right now I'm out of the scripted part, or the part I wanted to show. I'm just trying stuff. Okay, this is totally not a good spot. Don't go here. You can fall down the sea, that's of course a good spot. Can you do some? Oh yeah, you can do something very nice here. You can you maybe can. Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. Yeah, you should not. But the bridge, if you have 3 teammates, is still a doable thing. Very, very doable. But if you're just 2, you can properly use smoke grenades. I would say it's really unsafe, takes a long time, and in all the time it's taking you to get up the bridge, well, you're not being of help to your team. Now here is a good place. I think there will be better ways to reach this from the enemy side, but if you manage to get down the bridge, fall down and survive, so many ifs, that's while the bridge was doable, this is just don't hope for it. That's a very, very trolly spot. You can cover the whole sea, you can cover all enemies going C, you can't cover enemies going B, but you can cover some the bridge, and you can cover the land ramp that goes into B. It's nice, it looks nice. I'm ready to bet that they blocked these other bridges as well. Yes. Oh, it's really out. I will have a hard time finding how to get here from the enemy spawn. It will be really difficult. Well, that's it. To recap on the map, when you are in the symbol map, when you are in domination, I suggest you go B or C because it's almost guaranteed to have teammates going A. If you go on C, capture and hold. If you go on B, capture, snipe, and try to push. If you go on A, well, this is practically another match in another map. You can snipe enemies on B if they have B. If your team has B, from here you just push forwards. If you are in a light tank and in a team with someone, you can take this path, the direct path for quick tanks, the longer one for slower tanks that keeps you safer. From here, in realistic, you can kill enemies that are going B. If you are realistic or arcade with a teammate, you can get up the mountain, snipe spawns, and get in enemy sniper position if the enemy has A. Only thing you don't cover from here is C. So I would say, if your team has B and A, just don't go here. If your team has B and C, from here you can help your team get A as well. Now let's go to middle capture only. In this case, getting here and staying here is the better option, because enemies will have to take A, and from here you can kill any enemy that is trying to get A. But you have to be aware that enemies will try to flank from both south and north. You can, in this version, use the bunker hill I've shown to cover A. That's actually a nice position. I don't suggest you to flank north, because the mud slows you down and there's not much cover, or it's just not a good option. My tank just got a shell on its face. It's getting many shells on its face. Let me fix it a moment. Okay. Okay, from here. Okay, and in this version, this hill is pointless. You don't want to go here. There is not much to snipe north, and as I have shown, it's not a good way to get to A. So in this version of the map, just take one of the two paths, of the two ways, green and blue. Next one, oh, and there is the option in this version of going to the bridge, because with enemies not going much north, your climbing on the side of the cliff will not be as visible, and they might just not notice you doing that. So yeah, from here the bridge is an option. Next one, south spawn, middle spawn, that is quite south, and north capture, that the one with the far capture point, the most far capture point. And as I said, crowded start, so if you're not in a hurry, just go on the other way. This is a good spot. Again, this is always a good spot for different reasons. If you're C, you have a lot of your teammates here sniping. From here, you just want to cover enemy spawn and enemy path to A. On the other hand, if you have A, but the enemy is pushing here towards your spawn, then you want to go into the enemy sniper spot and from here kill enemies from behind. This is a mode where the middle hill is useful for snipers, because, well, they cover everything. And what's the difference? Oh yeah, with A on the other side, the point is still the same. What you do from the blue line depends on your team is holding this, or enemy team is holding this. And yet again, the middle spawn, the middle hill can be a good sniping spot, while from here you can snipe better on A. From B you have a very narrow sight over A, but you have a lot of cover, and you are guaranteed that there will be less enemies going around you. That's always a good thing, right? In this version, I would say the bridge option is just flat out stupid, and this green line, just don't follow it. It's too far. If you want to go for a flank, follow the blue line, the blue line, and get on the area of D, E, 8, 9. These sectors here. If you don't want to climb, these sectors here are good. Just don't go this ridiculously long path north. And that was it. That was the guide for Ash River tank battles. domination and conquest. Everything I said applies to realistic arcade and simulator. And that's it. End of the guide. I hope someone find this useful. I hope someone looks for a map guide War Thunder, and see you for the next time. Also, let me know in the comments, if anyone is watching this video, which map would you like to see next. But don't expect it to be the next video, because first I will do the same map from the right spawn point of view. All this guide was from the left. That said, I will finally close the video. See you next time.